This is the like 8th time I'm trying to do this particular video, and it is really getting old to stare at this camera, at the screen rather, talk about the same stuff, and then have YouTube go, nope, not gonna do it today. So let's try it one last time before I give up entirely. It is me, the faceless, self-thought purveyor of truth, and I'm here to talk about random stuff like I normally do. Let's just get right into it. Hopefully this actually uploads and I can move on from my life. I wanted to talk about Craigslist and how, I'm not someone to judge people on their sexuality or anything, especially when I talked about how I'm open-minded. But some things people post on there are just way beyond what I would define as normal, I suppose, and I have a pretty skewed perception of normal. So it's just some of the weird stuff on there. But more importantly, if you're using it as a dating site, and some people do, they're like, I'm looking for my significant other, or, the right guy. There's OkCupid, and there's plenty of fish, and there's all these dating sites. You don't have to resort to Craigslist. If you're using that, that's bottom of the barrel, and you've reached a new low. Speaking of OkCupid, though, because that's the site I'm on, because I am a pathetic person and a loser, and I have no problem insulting myself. Here's the thing. Allergies, yay. If you're on there, lower the standards. There's a reason you're single. Okay? It's not because you can't find people and there's a reason you're single, because you're either high standards or you're a cunt. You're a bitch, whatever you want to call it. But you're a horrible person, and that's why you resort to that, and that's why you're still on there. Furthermore, if you're on there and your profile is a joke or whatever, then bullshit. Bullshit, okay? If you're on there, I don't care how you try to hide it, you're on there because you can't find people in real life, and obviously it's because you have high standards or something. So embrace reality, lower the standards, and maybe you'll find somebody, okay? I'm not saying it's going to be me, and it certainly is not because I've been rejected. I don't care. But if you're on there, you're obviously on there for a reason, so you're not fooling anybody with this. It's a joke or whatever, and you lower the standards, maybe you'll find somebody. Back to Craigslist. That misconnections page, weird stuff, and the thing is that, okay, it's not even weird, it's just, you are putting a lot of faith, blind faith, into someone to read that section, remember you, want to be with you, be into the gender you are, yada yada, etc., whatever. It's just a lot of faith to put in some random person who's like, yeah, I remember that guy from the Applebee's or whatever. Here's my take on that. If you see somebody, okay, and you think you have a shot, go for it. Because odds are, it's never gonna work if you have to rely on Craigslist to misconnections. You just go for it when you have the chance. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. I make weird sounds, sorry. Moving on. Smarks, the smart wrestling fans. You are not as smart as you think you are. And, I'll tell you why. There's a Botchamania video, and it was recent when I actually started trying to make this video. It's like 2 weeks old now. Whatever. Here's the thing. They talk about Devon and Bubba Ray, the match at the TNA pay-per-view. And then they're like, well, before we get to that, let me say, TNA hates you for... I was not excited about that match, but the fact is you had a build-up. It was great. Devon wants to get his hands on him. Brother Ray keeps running away and sneak attacking him. Great idea, okay? Simple heel face strategy. But instead of having people go, I've already paid for the pay-per-view, I'm along for the ride, I'm going to enjoy this singles match where they finally get to interact and wrestle, You threw that away in a tag team match, on Impact. Why? Why waste the time? Why throw that build up and that angle in a match that I had no reason to be a part of? Stupid. But anyways, Botchmania talks about how they fought in the crowd. There's like no DQ for weapon used in the crowd, but then they bring a chain into the ring, and the referee calls for the thing, calls for the bell. Match ends, and it's like, oh TNA, you suck, blah blah blah. Here's my take on that. Okay, here's my take on that. You ever think that maybe you need to step back and kind of analyze things on a broader perspective? Instead of going, TNA sucks, or you didn't get what you want, or whatever, look at it from a perspective. You ever think that maybe the referee was like, alright, guys, it's a heated thing, you both want to beat each other up, I'm going to be a bit lenient, I'm going to hold back a bit, there's not going to be a lot of counting you out and stuff. But when he brought the chain in, it was like, whoa, now you're jeopardizing a man's career. Now you're going a little too far. Now I got to put my foot down. It's like no one wants to think. It's a combination of what's either or rather. They either don't get what they want, they don't understand the angle, or both. And they're just like, oh, my favorite wasn't pushed or something. You're like, your favorites can't always be pushed. What you want isn't always the best thing. And just because you didn't get what you want doesn't mean the thing isn't smart or a good idea. In fact, I'm willing to bet that if all you, the smarks and the diehard smart fans or whatever, got in charge of booking a promotion, you'd run it into the ground within 6 months. You want to sit there and say TNA can't book, yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine, WWE, whatever. But you probably would do a lot worse because you have no idea of creating angles and creating stories and drama and building up. You just you blow your load as soon as you get the book in your hands. You put the belts on your favorites and whatever. Can't always do things that make you happy. It has to appeal to a broader group of people. So I just think that the people who think they're smart and sit there and like, try to analyze angles, really aren't smart, and they're not analyzing it as well as they should. So that's my take on that. And I had something else I wanted to talk about. When I did this video for the first like 6,000 times, I approached like 10-11 minutes. I guess I don't remember what it was for. Trying to think. It wasn't that important apparently. But I thought about what I wanted to talk about, and trying to think. Awkward silence is not what. I want to talk about this though. People who use the gimmicks of like putting like everything in the search tags so they can get more viewers. That's cheap. That's like using Game Genie or something. That's just cheating to me. If you can't get people naturally, you should give up. Like, yeah, my videos aren't popular yet, and that's cool. That's great. Maybe they will be. Even with the awkward silence involved. But the thing is, I'm not gonna put like boobs and porn and vagina in the thing because I know that doesn't relate to it. I'm gonna try to put what I can put, into the thing so that people will read it and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So I think it's cheating. So I want to talk about it real quick. Something that's near and dear to my own heart. Women's wrestling. And I could rant for like 4 videos about this, but I'll just say it real quick. It's underappreciated. It really is. And it's because I think people watch the mainstream, they see the divas, and they're like, they can't wrestle, which is another bullshit thing, because the divas could wrestle. A lot of them can. A lot of them are talented. It's just when you give someone 3 minutes to work, you don't give them a chance to build up a match or anything, you're gonna think they suck. You probably would think that someone like Zack Ryder, who's a talented guy, sucks completely because he's only given superstar matches. So, the divas can wrestle, and women can wrestle, and they can draw. They're just poorly booked, and if you think they can't, go watch Japanese stuff, go watch Shimmer, and, girls, go watch, like, 94, 95 WWF, with like Alondra Blaze and Bull Nakano and stuff. That is solid freaking stuff right there. I can make a longer video, but I don't care. I want to say this too. as I sniffle and make weird sounds. Um, People always say underrated wrestlers. You know, Bryan Danielson, he's underrated because he's not pushed to the moon and winning titles. You know, I don't think that's underrated. To me, underrated is the people who are busting their asses but not getting put on the main on the Raws and the SmackDown and the Impact. Or it's like the people working. It's like ROH students like Pele Primo and guys like that who have worked on the undercard and that student promotion that I think Delirious books or whatever for months, years, and never get an opportunity to make it to the upper tier. You know, Zack Ryder, Primo, Kurt Hawkins. You know, like people working, all these people who never get a chance to come into the main programs and get a chance to sign. Those are the underrated people. It's not, you know, people who get promoted every week on Raw and SmackDown. That's not that because underutilized. You know, underrated or whatever, or you know, misused, whatever to call it, I guess. Doesn't refer to the people getting booked and put on Raw and SmackDown every week. Just because someone isn't winning titles and getting pushed to the moon like you want, again, getting what you want in wrestling, but, you know, just because you don't get what you want doesn't mean it's not bad, and that's referring to the other point. What I think I meant to say is, just because they're not getting pushed doesn't mean that they're not treated right. Even people like DiBiasio, I kind of feel bad for us, who's getting, you know, not jobbed out, but he's losing, he's putting people over and stuff, but he's a talented guy, but at least he's getting airtime. And he's a pro on NXT. To me, that's being used. That's at least being used better than Ryder and Primo and stuff. I mean, Ryder went into the Rumble on Sunday and got eliminated with like before the next entrant. How little did they care about him? So, to me, that's underutilized. That's under pushed or whatever you want to call it. So, so that's my take. So that's that. I don't know what to say here. I have some time left. I'm actually breaking 13 minutes approaching, which I thought I was not going to do this video. I think awkward silence and random additions to this, and I'm feeling my chest because I feel fat and out of shape. I like man tits, but if they feel like solid, it's weird. And it's a Bride of Frankenstein shirt, if you do actually care. I like it. I like gimmicky shirts, like Hot Topic shirts. Doesn't make me look professional, but I like them. You know, kind of like being like a Raven or a CM Punk or something. Cool. Anyways, I don't know what I remember this video about or whatever. I think you saw my face there. You saw my face, oh my god. Probably because I looked down to swat bugs off the bed I'm sitting on. I sit on the bed? Yeah. And I could talk about like concepts and things in wrestling, or you know, people, or this or that. I don't know. I want to be a broad range of topics so that people don't get alienated. I've said it before, but I want to make videos that people can relate to and kind of be like, yeah, okay, I'll watch that. So I think I'm gonna make the next video about a variety of stuff and ramble on and be silent and be weird and make you guess, I guess. I don't know. Stupidity at its finest. Mindless, incoherent ramblings. But, you know, I'll talk about in the next video. Concepts in pro wrestling. I like rumble matches and war games and all that stuff. And, kind of a nerdy subject of message boards. And hypocrisy on them. And I know that sounds stupid, but... And actually, I'll talk about something else. People always say that you can't get mad on the internet, and I always call bullshit on that. Everyone's like, you're never gonna meet these people. Okay, that's understandable. But like, if you go to a party and you don't know somebody and he says something like a douchebag, you're gonna sit there and go, dude, you don't know me. You're gonna get offended or you're gonna get pissed because he's being a douchebag. You know, he's being an asshole. Just because you're never gonna meet these people, other faceless people on the internet, doesn't mean you can't be mad. It doesn't mean you can't have a human emotion. It's human nature to get angry. But I'm wasting time here. So that's in the future video. If you like this video, cool. If not, that's cool, whatever. If you like it, go back and watch the other ones. Subscribe, that whole standard YouTube nonsense. And check back for the later videos. And I thank you for your time, and I'm out of here.